Welcome to the RC Motorsport Europe podcast.
Right, we are looking at the Nitro on-road classes for 2026, the event hosts, and during this podcast we are going to be looking at all of the applicants from all of the clubs that want to host those events. So to give you the background, at the EFRA AGM first weekend of November, all of these proposals will be viewed in the section meeting and there will be a vote and they will decide where we go racing in 26. If you want to have a say on that, you need to talk to your federation because EFRA do not decide where the events are hosted. You do through your federation reps voting in that meeting first weekend in November. So the classes are GT8/GTE, Nitro 1/10 on-road, and Nitro 1/8 on-road.
Yes,
on-road. This is all on-road. This is a strictly on-road section.
Just tarmac here. And also I should say that there's actually a couple of World Championship locations that are going to be decided as well. And, well, we'll get to those, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so starting with GT8, the first one that we're going to be looking at, again, there's 4 different proposals that have been put forward.
Yep.
So the first one we're going to look at is Girona in Spain. So here is their proposal.
And just so you know, all of this is available online. This is the EFRA.ws website. You can go on there and look through all of these proposals at your leisure. And of course, do your own research into the tracks as well. We're just going to show you what we can find. We've just found some footage of the tracks that we could find, and we've got the proposal that they've submitted that are already in the public domain. So take your time looking through the EFRA website and you'll find these proposals that we're digging through now.
Exactly. And so the first one we're looking at is La Masia Raceway, which is
a very exciting new facility.
From what we can tell, is going to look pretty awesome and is very new. So they are proposing to host the GT8 and GTE Euros for 2026. And so as normal, most of these proposals include a little bit of a tourism aspect because a lot of the racers use the European Championships as a kind of an excuse for a family holiday. But here is a look at the off-road track.
Wow.
And it looks very nice. I mean, look at that blue sky.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want to see. The on-road track is, I'm not sure that they have a photo of the actual track itself, but this is a plan of the track, 2 tracks. So there's the off-road and then there is the on-road with various option lines as well that are available. Obviously,
and it's huge.
It looks massive. So with the rostrum there, and the pit lanes on either side, and I like the dual-sided rostrums that we see in Europe. Pretty cool. So there's an up set of stairs and a down set of stairs. So obviously you'll be waiting here to you watch all the competitors while you're waiting to go up on the rostrum, and then you come straight down, and it's a very efficient and smooth setup. And here are the organizers of the raceway and of the meeting. And so if you are aware of who they are, that's you have a good idea of how the event is going to run. And here's some very, very nice looking hotel rooms.
Yeah. I don't think we won't be staying in those hotels.
Not the Whirlpool with the golf course next to it.
It's unlikely the RC Racing TV team will be finding themselves at the
Ibis budget or the Formula One.
That's more likely, yes.
And of course, just additional little help to decide is the climate. So in the northeast of Spain, in Catalonia, about 25k from the sea. So the Costa Brava, basically. So I think that's north of Barcelona. There might be a map as well, if I remember right. There might not be one, but anyway, there is the location.
Well, we can also
follow
look
them
at
on socials.
LaMasiaRaceway.com. So they've got a website. So this is the one track that we don't really have a whole lot of footage because we've never been there before, and it's very new on the scene. So yeah, this is predominantly the off-road content, but you can go on here and you can get in touch with the organisers. There's the images of the 2 tracks, the schematic diagram. You can get in touch with the track there, and then I think
here we go.
Can look here.
Is it the Yeah. There we are.
And so there we can see the raceway. Cool.
Okay. So by the time the aerial photo was taken, they've already have the off-road track has been built, but not the on-road track.
Yeah.
Of course, this may change because these are aerial photos. They might be, years out of date. But yeah, so
load of hotels nearby.
Yeah, and golf courses.
And as you were saying, in terms of the location, it's just a bit up the coast from Barcelona
and down the motorway from Montpellier.
There you go. Oh, yeah. And it did say also on the website that it is 10 minutes from Girona Airport. Ooh. So that's quite handy.
Very.
That's quite handy. So, unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot more info to give you on that particular one, but it does look cool. And I think there's going to be a lot of hype about this facility. We've already been hearing about it for the last year or so. A lot of people are excited about this new kind of RC mecca, which is happening.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to go either. So I'm sure
Spain is going to have good food, good weather, good travel links, and all sorts of stuff like that.
Reasonably priced as well, Spain. So it should be a good one.
Hopefully we do get to Girona at some point.
Yeah, they've also gone in for the 40
of the
plus.
Yes.
8th off-road 40 plus, I think. So hopefully on-road, off-road, one way or another will be there in 26.
Yes,
let's hope. But there are more options, and it's you that decides, not us. We don't even get a vote.
Yeah, I mean, we have our opinions.
Opinions that count for nothing.
As RCTV, we have our opinions, but it's
no one listens to them.
It's you racers who are part of your European federations that you talk to your federations and say, I want to race in Girona, I want to race in Groningen, Gubbio, Villarreal, just to give everybody their equal share. Mm-hmm. There's lots of choices here, and some good ones as well. So,
absolutely.
Next one we're going to look at is Groningen.
Another experienced host.
Yes. And as you can see, they are putting in for the World Championship for Large Scale 2026, but also for the EC, which is European Championships for 1/8 GT. So it's GT8 and GTE.
It says 2025, but okay.
They may have gotten that mixed around. I don't know. There's the club. It's the MRC Real 80.nl. You can check them out. They're a good group of people. They know what they're doing. We were at the was it last year? Yes, that we were at there for the large scale Euros, and they're one of the Grand Prix locations for 25. But they're putting in for the GT8 and GTE Euros next year. 26. Yes. Yeah. And here's thoughts from B.A. Arnaldi, Alessio Mazzeo, previous European champions in these categories.
That's a smart move as a club wanting to curry favour, is to get previous champions to say a few good words about the facility.
Definitely. And here's the...
But I think they should also have a few words from people who finished last to see if they still had a good time, because most people aren't going to win.
Yeah.
And if they had a good time as well, that's a good way to sell it.
So here's the locations where they are located. Well, the location where they're located, obviously that's a link, and you can visit the PDF on the EFRA website and go to the Google Maps link there, or this link here, and see it for yourself. There's Mr. Ian Audie's RV camping on site, and you can go from a tent to a caravan or motorhome. And here is the location. There is a dual carriageway that's right next to them. It might be a 2-lane. It's definitely 2-lane, I think. Mm-hmm. And then this is an access road, and you get into the facility there. And all the camping is all in this area here along the trees. all along there, and that is the track itself. This is the driver's rostrum.
So you camp on the off-road track.
Yeah,
so you could find yourself you could pitch your tent at the top of a jump.
You can, well, I'm not suggested, but you could. So it's a 260 meter long track, 100 covered spaces, and of course there's the camping area to use as your pit area as well. The proposed, that's the expected time schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And here's some photos of the track.
Nice track.
Yeah, it is a very nice track, and it does drain fairly well. There's real grass in the middle.
Of course, because you were there.
Curbs. Yeah.
And it rained a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And it's literally within walking distance of at least one or two hotels that are in the area.
That's good.
And they are planning to. This is the current canteen cafe area, and they're planning to replace it or build onto it.
Wow.
With this. Looks like they're just going to take that and just lift it up.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're going to do. But these clubs in the Netherlands, they take their racing seriously, and the clubs are usually really well organized.
Yeah. Okay. And speaking of you being there in 2023, this was the large-scale touring car Euro. So, yeah, they hosted large-scale. They do large-scale, but they also do GT8 and I guess the Nitro on-road classes. So yeah, this is how it looked. This was after a pretty wet, because this is finals day. So this is after a pretty wet couple of days, and you can see it's overcast, but it's drained fairly well. It's there's not.
Yeah. And this is large scale as well. So this is these are going a little bit slower than the GT8s would be.
Yeah.
And obviously they're a lot bigger than the GT8, probably about twice the size. So you have a really good idea. There's some really tight sections. There's the main straight, which obviously is very, very fast, and some interesting passing places.
Yeah. That's going to be a fast and flowing track, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like technical as well. Should be good. Very experienced. They know what they're doing.
Very.
So yeah, you've got the excitement. So far, we have the excitement of a completely new facility in Spain, or you have the experienced hosts at Groningen who have already hosted large-scale on-road Euros. And what else do we have?
So next one up on the proposal list is Gubbio.
Okay.
I can't remember how to say the name. Mini Autodromo. No. I had the name.
But
anyway,
you spent
Gubbio.
a whole event coming to terms with how to say it. I remember.
Yeah. So this is the Gubbio track. There's the old town of Gubbio up there, built into the hill just there. It's lovely. We'll get into that. But here we go. The track has been around for 24 years. And the track itself was built in 1982. Wow. So yeah, this is we've been to Gubbio several times, and we do love it. And the track, again, another experienced club. Here is another view of the track and the surrounding hills and the cypress trees that are at the one end of the track. Little mini trees on the inside. We'll get to that. But so this is a really good track. We do enjoy going there. Oh, there we go. Club Automodelistico Cinquecoli. There we go. So yeah, a really good track. They've hosted at least a couple of Worlds that we've been to and several Euros, and I think they're hosting a GP next year as well.
Fantastic. I mean, one of the things, like, it's a beautiful location. This town is amazing. Like, walking around the town at night, going out for a gelato, is something you have to do. But the food on site that the club prepare,
a wood-fired pizza oven on site.
We all put on a lot of weight when we were here last. Really, really great facility, and great like
the organization's
modern
really
approach.
Good, yeah.
They've got that bridge as well. In fact, we can look at slightly old footage, but this is the Worlds that they hosted in
16.
Oh no, I get what this is. This is the Worlds that was at the track that we were showing in the break.
Yes.
So this is what it looked like in.
I think it was.
When you say
16?
2016.
I think.
And then this is what it looks like. Let's get to the main final. Here we go. So this is what it looked like in 2022 when we were there.
This is this is IC. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So this is this isn't obviously GT8, but
there'll be a little bit larger than this and just a tiny bit slower. But yeah, a really good track. And I was getting distracted myself because with the little mini bushes,
the scale,
like the scale trees,
1/10 trees, yeah.
That the drivers are able to crash into as well if you get really offline. But yeah, another circuit with real grass in the middle, real bushes, and yeah, there's the timing loops, the finishing line,
yeah,
and that's the media center there,
fully air conditioned, yeah. And the timekeeper is on the floor below, and they did get struck with some rain for the electric 10th scale Worlds, which wreaked havoc. That wasn't their fault, and the event was completed.
Yeah,
a world champion was declared, so we'll say it was a success. We've always had a great time when we've been there.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
And many of the Nitro on-road racers will be, the IC on-road racers should be familiar with the circuit anyway. And a lot of them cross over into GT8, so this will be familiar to you. So if you're a Nitro on-road racer and you're wanting to attend the Worlds and you want to go to a track another one that knows what they're doing, Gubbio is definitely a very, very good option.
Do you want to be in Gubbio in 2026? Let your federation know. But there is another option.
One more to look at, and another one that we're quite familiar with is Villarreal in Portugal. So here is their proposal again. Another PDF to look at, and another, as we said, familiar track. They are putting themselves forward for the 1/8 GT scale for Euros for 2026. And here we are. Wow, we haven't seen this. We haven't seen it in this hotel, Matt.
Actually,
not yet.
Actually, I believe. No, possibly not. No, I did 1 year stay in a very, very old hotel. Very like that. But I don't know if it was that one.
So yeah. So again, the tourism section of the proposal, just letting everyone know the travel links from all the various countries from Ireland to Greece, and just letting you know where Villarreal is. It's directly east of Porto and north of Lisbon.
Yep.
The local aerodrome, which I'm not sure anyone's actually flown into that I'm aware of, but Miracorgo, that sounds familiar. I think we may have stayed there.
Probably stayed there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We've met up there. Yeah, that's in the town, and then there's the built into a ravine. Basically, it overlooks a big, deep ravine. That's a hiking area with stairs and.
We actually stay in a cheaper hotel, but the EFRA officials stay there.
We can walk to the Miracorgo.
When there's been an EFRA banquet, we've gone there to eat the food. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, there's camping nearby. But here's a map of the track and a very well laid out track. So there's what are they called? Tribunes or bleachers
that are
covered bleachers with screens as well and speakers for the local townsfolk who do show up to watch these races. It's really, really cool, actually. And there's the timing building, and then two sets of rostrums with the driver. Two sets of paddocks with the driver rostrum in the middle. Loads of parking. And it's a really well put together track. And here's one of the covered viewing areas, concrete steps, and there's the rostrum. Again, we're quite familiar with this one. And there's the back of the pit area, the front of the pit area, a raised pit lane.
You want to raise pit lane. You don't really want to be kneeling down if you can avoid it.
Concrete tables.
Yep.
And always very good, nice and sturdy. And there's a timekeeping area. And again, look at that blue sky. Large scale, 8th scale, 10th scale, and of course they're putting themselves forward for GT8. And there's some of the sort of the admin sort of things.
Yeah.
Again, Jose Figueiredo is leading the charge on that one.
You can be sure that you're going to have a good event when Jose's name is attached to it.
Definitely.
Yeah, very well respected organizer and overseer of events, many events across Portugal. So we can have a brief look at the track in action.
Have a gander.
So this is the last time we were there, this is 1/8 IC, which is probably the closest to GT8 in terms of size at least. And so you can see the track. Yes, it's a multi-purpose track in the sense that it's had large scale as well as 8th scale as well as 10th scale. You might argue, yes, very wide, but it's always given us very good finals. It's always given us lots of good action. And just, general happy faces all round. I've noticed when we've been there, and also like the when they have gatherings outside, like after the event, they put on a nice banquet. They do make a nice experience for everyone. So it's fun for all to be had here, definitely.
And again, if you look at those bleachers on the back straight and at that first turn, half of those people are literally local people who come to watch the racing. They're not the racers and the racers' families and the mechanics of all because this is the main final. So obviously all the racers are watching this one. Half of those people are the local townsfolk, which is absolutely fantastic to see.
This is a good example of a club. When you go to this event or an event that this club hosts, you'll go through the local town and you'll see posters up everywhere for this event. Like they're not just catering for the racers, they are trying to grow the sport and grow what they're doing by selling it to the outside world. So you'll see posters, you'll see billboards even,
and road signs. Literally road signs
around the local vicinity.
So
this might be the place that gets the most members of the public to come and watch you race, which I think is a really cool thing. Very cool thing indeed.
So again, if you want to race in Portugal at a familiar circuit that is a
known quantity,
promoting itself and the sport and the hobby to members of the public, vote for tell your federation to vote for Villarreal in Portugal.
So there are your 4 options for GT8 in 2026: Girona in Spain, Groningen in Netherlands, Gubbio in Italy, or Villarreal in Portugal. 4 fantastic options. I'm sure people watching will have strong views. So make them known to your federation and make sure you do it soon, because the voting will happen first weekend of November. And after that, it's decided, it's in the books. So
there's no point complaining or moaning or whatever after the voting is done. Tell your federations now where you want to race.
Absolutely. Right. Okay.
So the next one to look at is actually a WC. So we're going to be deciding. Well, not we, but the representatives, the federation representatives, will be deciding on the location for the 2027 GT8 and GTE World Championship location. So the last one was in Australia, won by Tony Gruber, and the the World Cup was won by Jorn Neumann for GTE. So this one is a little bit of a known quantity for us, because we were there last year for the 1/10th IC track Euros,
and this year for this very class. We were there this year for the GT8 Euros.
And we had a couple of brand new winners, very exciting and excited winners, Rosario Gaiamo and Natanelli Senesi in electric. And also this place has also hosted a Worlds before for 1/8 buggy.
2014. When Tessman won. So now it's an on-road circuit, and there's a view of the circuit there.
a beautiful location.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, look at this. It's it's on Sicily. It's on the east coast of Sicily, between Catania, which is somewhere down here, and Messina, which is up here.
And if you're a
right in the
fan
middle
of the TV show White Lotus, season 2 was shot just a little bit up the coast from this very track.
Very much so, yeah. We've both been there.
Yeah,
so,
I haven't actually. I didn't, but you did.
Yeah, but you were there this year.
Yeah, I didn't go to the hotel.
Yeah,
and I didn't go to the where The Godfather was shot like you did. I didn't get out quite as much as you did, but you can go and see some of the sites of the Godfather film as well.
So yeah, in the shadow of Mount Etna, as I was fond of saying last year. But yeah,
fond.
that literally Etna, the volcano, is right on the.
When you park in the car park, you could see it.
Yeah, there's like, oh yeah, Etna's like just blowing off some ash. Okay.
Every morning when we got there, Nick would take a photo of Mount Etna when we got to the car park.
I kept doing that,
and I was like, "You're just taking a rubbish photo of Mount Etna." And the internet is full of beautiful photos of Mount Etna. Why don't you just go to Google Images?
Yeah, but he has copyright of that photo now.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Great.
So. So yeah, that's this
could be a family favorite. Like,
yes,
if you're a racing family and you all race, that's the number one option. That's perfect. But if you're a family where part of you, some of you race and some of you don't race, this is the one to bring the family to. Those that don't race can go and see the sites, can go and hang out on the beach all day. And yeah, have a lot of fun.
I like that they include the one of the options that you can stay at is in Taormina. Okay, yeah, one of the most expensive locations in Sicily.
Yeah.
Or you can stay at this beautiful, beachside resort.
Needless to say, not where we stayed. But anyway.
No, we say some very nice place, but there's a view of the track itself, and we have some video footage of the racing earlier this year.
So, yeah, this is finals day. This is the 1.8B final in GT8, and you can see the track. It's
and these are actually GT8 cars as well, so you can get a good sense of the size and the speed of the cars. This is Nitro, isn't it? So yeah, is that?
Yes.
Yes.
As they just distribute some smoke just on cue, just to let us know.
I'm Nitro. Yeah. So there we are, and you have a good idea of. Let's see, we're not seeing Etna. It's just above that shot. If that shot panned or tilted up, yes. Everything's a pan.
So there you go. That's what happened here. A nice overtake, undertake, curb cut, corner cut, whatever you like. Was a fantastic event. Great food.
I was going to say food, but then I knew you were going to say, oh yeah, you always talk about the food. But then you said food, so
the great food, great banquet. Opening ceremony was cool. They've got like a cool stage that they stand on and do the opening ceremony, and it's like one of the, how can I put it, one of the least boring opening ceremonies, because they know opening ceremonies can be boring, but they made it fun.
Yeah. Did they have a DJ?
Yeah, they had a DJ, and they had like an MC, not in the sense that somebody was rapping, but in the sense that kind of like a host
stage. Master of ceremonies.
Exactly.
In the classic. Sense.
Exactly. Yeah. So do you want to go to Naxos? Maybe you've already been and loved it. Maybe you've always wanted to go. This is the World Championships we're talking about in 2027. So
at the moment, just the one option, but there might be others that have been popped up at the last minute. But obviously, the effort and cost to put on a World Championships is conceivably going to be greater than putting on a European Championships.
Yeah, it's a big responsibility.
So
isn't it?
Not a lot of clubs are going to be prepared to do that. So, but
and
I think
the way
it'll be voted on, whether it's a moot point or not. I don't know.
Yeah. The way it works, I mean, obviously, if there is genuinely only one candidate, I don't know. But there could be more late additions that propose just in time for the AGM. But it is voted on at the EFRA AGM and then taken to the IFMA AGM where they put it forward, and generally we're told it's basically a formality. So the decision will be made first weekend in November in theory, and then we will all know where the Worlds will be held in 27, and that'll be That'd be exciting. I'd like to go back to Naxos. So yeah, that is GT8 done.
Yeah.
What do we have next?
GTE. Next up is 1/10 IC track or ignition track, or Nitro 1/10, whichever you want to call it.
Yep.
So we have two options in this one for the Euros. We have Lino in Italy,
Yep.
and we have Villarreal in Portugal, who we just saw some footage of that. But we'll look at Lino real quick. This is their proposal. So this is a fairly simple one. So this is they're just filling out the form on this one. There we go. So basically just doing
it's just the standard generic form. This is the information they have to provide to be considered, and so they've filled out the form.
Stairs up, stairs down. That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we have a little bit more dynamic viewing available to look at.
Well, we've got we can only really show what's been submitted at the time we recorded this. So we can only really show a form that's been filled out, which that's all we've got. But I did take a look, and ENS, the European Nitro Series, regularly race there. So I think it's a firm fixture in their calendar. So
it'll be familiar to many of the top drivers in the category.
Exactly, yeah. So we may as well have a look at that. So this is the driver's stand, raised pit lane.
I see Mr. Thurston.
There he is.
See some familiar faces in there already.
Indeed, yeah. So there we go. We can see it's another grass.
Is the 1/8 A final
facility.
So these are going to be a little bit bigger than the 1/10.
Let's get some movement. Let's get some racing action. There we go.
It looks pretty big.
So, yeah, it's got a big LED with the racing positions on it.
Lights as well.
Yep, lights.
All around.
If weather plays a part and they have to run a late night, then they've got lights to race under. I think that's the timing loop that they're going under. I assume that they start on the back straight.
Yeah, they were going out to the back straight to...
of course, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's fast, as you'd expect, with this being Nitro 1/8. But this is the 10th. So you're watching 1/8. ENS does feature 1/10. So, yeah, I don't know. We can't see any 1/10 cars going around.
It might be... I was going to say it might be earlier in the clip, but it looks like this is all 1/8.
This is all 1/8. So, yeah. Cool. Oh, there's our friend...
Mr. Ehrman.
Mr. Ehrman doing interviews for ENS. So that's cool to see. But, so you get the idea. This is 1/8 cars going around, but they are applying to host the 1/10 IC. Yeah. So it's this and Villarreal.
Villarreal, who we just saw just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. We know Villarreal. They've hosted many Euros before. Lino have hosted, I believe, ENSs in the past, definitely this year, but maybe previous years as well. I think they're familiar on their ENS calendar, so very experienced hosts hosting international races. So two known quantities, I would say.
Yeah.
Lino, less to us. We haven't been there before, but it looks like a fine facility. So where do you want to race 1/10 IC in 2026?
Tell your federations now.
Tell them now. Because EFRA isn't going to decide. You are. You are by telling your federation where you want to race in 2026. So that is 1/10 IC.
Yeah. At the moment, for 1/8 IC track, there's just the one option for the 2026 Euros. And have you brought that up?
Yep.
So this is not a... there is no PDF proposal for it. It's a video proposal. So this is what the track looks like.
Speaking our language in terms of video content. So fast.
Yeah.
So it's not a grass infield like many of the applicants we've seen. It's all asphalt with the blue painted infield.
Right next to an airport. So if you have a private
there's
plane.
literally an airport right there. They can race at night time, which
Yeah,
knowing
you can see
European
the pits
weather,
on the side,
they
yeah.
probably will have to race under the lights
Yeah.
at some stage if the weather gets involved, as it seems to recently. 10-meter rostrum, which is cool. They run my laps, which is and that's the timing hut there, running my laps, which is
That must be the finishing line as well.
yeah. And
Just
here's the pits. Permanent structure there with you've got. I like this because
Yeah, the
a lot of
overhead
tracks,
storage is good.
A lot of tracks just have the giant concrete tables, but they've got the overhead storage as well, which is really handy. Not having everything down at your feet.
Ooh.
Oh wow. Okay.
Now you're talking my language. No, that's
so meat
great.
eaters. If,
hot roast.
Yeah. If you're a fan of pork,
Wow.
they got you covered. There's the bar with Perrier branding, so sparkling water if you wish.
On tap.
Oh, that's a nice photo.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So that's the starting grid. I thought that was bottles of tomato ketchup, but it's not. It's rosé, which is cool. Oh, there's John Ehrman again. This is the Nationals 2021.
Yeah, and
there we
GTA
go.
as well. So
Directors.
they run a variety of.
Hi, Richard.
Oh, Richard. Bonjour.
Christophe.
Bonjour, Christophe.
Bonjour.
And bonjour,
Cedric. So there you go. And Stephanie. Oh, hi, Stephanie. This is... And Sebastian 1. Is there a Sebastian 2? There is a Sebastian. Is there a Sebastian 3? No, Thierry. Okay, cool. So that's the team. And...
here we are. So
we go.
might get a zoom out of the look. No, now we have a tourism video.
There you go.
Borg and Bress. Actually, the 40 plus was.
I was going to say.
This track
So Borg and Bress rings
this year.
Lots of bells. I think do they do large scale there as well?
Don't
Or
know.
have I just made that up in my head? I don't know. Beautiful surroundings if you
Yeah.
want to go canoeing, or is that kayaking?
That's a kayak. then.
That's a kayak. Fan of old churches?
Mm.
Then yeah. Or watering plants.
Obviously a very pretty area with plenty to see and do for the family and after the racing.
And
Oh, is that rugby? Football and rugby.
football and rugby. So you go. Like rather than let's see, is there any more track action?
Old Town.
You can, of course, see all of this on the EFRA.ws website, so you can watch this whole... We won't watch a whole video together. Let me just get... let's have a look at this.
Track just at the end. There we go.
So there you go.
Oh, and here we go. So this is
25
more
hotels.
information.
So you can take your camper van, and there's a selection of websites to check out to find out more about tourism in the local area, and it's surrounded. Oh wow, it's like
Very pretty.
it's like in the woods, and then there's the airfield there.
Yeah, it's not going to be too close to the hills because of the airport, but yeah. And the trees, I mean, usually airports are going to be located in windy areas, naturally windy areas, but that's surrounded on at least two sides by trees, so it's not going to be all that windy on track. So that's handy.
Good stuff.
At the moment, I would say if you want to race at Borg and Bress, tell your federation, but at the moment, they're the only ones who have put themselves forward.
Yeah.
But again, that may change by the time we get to the AGM, but regardless, tell your federation.
See, I wonder why Lino, they're in at for the 1/10. Why would they not do 1/8 as an option as well? Like, if we don't get 1/10, we'll do it for 1/8.
It might be because this is the first time they're putting themselves forward for an EFRA Euros. I don't know.
Okay.
But that's just purely a guess. I don't really know.
Okay. Cool. So that is 1/10 done. 1/8. Sorry,
The
done.
1/8 ECs, and then no one has put themselves forward yet for the 40 plus Euros.
Which is interesting because that's going to be a full event. Obviously, that's going to be 10th and 8th.
Yeah.
I see. So those events are usually very popular.
Yeah,
and a
because
lot of fun.
there's a lot of older racers. We can safely say they are getting more and more
41 or 40 is not even old, is it? Really?
No. 50's the new 30.
There you go.
Yeah.
Currently at time of recording this, there's no applicants that we know of. So then the last event is the 2027 World Championships.
Yeah.
So hang on. Okay, so there's 1/8 nitro track in the EFRA block Worlds, and there is GT8 in the same year in EFRA block. So that's going to be a good year for on-road racing.
Yeah.
The Worlds EFRA. So Villarreal. So we know Villarreal very well, and there's lots of us talking about Villarreal earlier in this clip, so you can rewind and look at that.
Yeah, and as we were saying, the racers know Villarreal very well. Do apologize for not spelling that properly on the website, but yeah, we'll fix that. But they are the only club who put themselves forward for the World Championship in 2027 for 1/8 IC track.
They've hosted Worlds before. We did the large-scale Worlds there. Masami turned up to referee.
Oh yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. So yeah, very experienced hosts of IFMAR Worlds and EFRA Euros. So you can't really go wrong with Villarreal. That's for sure.
So that wraps up Nitro on-road.
Yeah,
basically.
Indeed. And so what you need to do now is make your voice heard today. Don't wait, because they will all be decided and all be wrapped up first weekend of November, which is not long from now. So you need to tell your federation and they can vote on your behalf. I can't say it enough times. EFRA don't decide where we race. You do, by telling your federations, and your reps vote in the section meeting. So that's how it works. Get involved, don't moan. And that's it from us.
Yeah. And there's no point complaining about it afterwards. It's all done first weekend of November. Make sure and tell your federations.
Check out EFRA.ws for more info about RC motorsport in Europe.